Good morning. Who else is excited about doing an all pink makeover look? I am so excited about today. We have so much to talk about. It's crazy. I'm Michelle Fox. Here, I've got an actual kind of cool thing to put up there. Hold on. Oh, where did it go? Well, maybe I don't have it anymore. No, style. There it is. I'm learning how to use some of these fancy things. There. Doesn't that look nice? I'm Michelle Fox from Michelle Fox Beauty and MichelleFoxOnline.com. And we have been talking about different makeup looks for the past 6 weeks. This is the sixth and last week. And every time we're using different colors, different techniques. Some are a little more complicated, so to speak, and some are really simple. This week is ridiculously simple. It really, really is. All right, get that off. Okay, I have so much to say. It's like I don't even know where to start. So first of all, let's just take a quick look at what we're going to be trying today. And if you have anything like this in your makeup bag, run and get it, okay? Because you can actually do this with me and we'll chat and it'll be amazing. So this look is called Mauve Haze. And it has a matte pink on the eyelids, just a really soft brown liner, pink on the cheeks, and then a mauve lip liner and lipstick. And in particular, these are all Mary Kay products. I've got so much to say today about the whole Mary Kay thing too. So don't go anywhere. And as a matter of fact, at the very end today, we're going to have a big question. So a big Q. So stay with me till the end. These are the actual products. So it's Dusty Rose, Rogue Rose, Mauve Pink Liner, and Mauve Crush, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Mauve Crush Lipstick. Every week we're talking about a different type of mascara, so I'll talk about that in a second. But let me come back to this. I started my beauty career in June 2000 as a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant, worked primarily in person. In 2022, I made a quality decision to expand online. And part of that process, my audience expanded such that I became more of a beauty influencer, Amazon influencer, YouTuber. And so I don't frequently talk really specifically about Mary Kay because I want to appeal to all audiences and I want everyone to feel included. But today is very much Mary Kay oriented, and this is why. Mary Kay has a makeover contest, and let's see, I think Sunday is the last day that you can enter. And so there were 6 different looks created by makeup artists, and I thought, that would be cool. Let's just feature one of these looks each week because I can be kind of, fall into the same pattern where I pretty much show you the same types of colors with the same technique. And so I thought this is going to push me out of my comfort zone and, appeal to people that love shimmery gold or soft pink, because frankly, this is not a look that I would normally use. It's not at all. So if you have a Mary Kay person in your life, you could actually get together with them and try these products. And this is my website, my Mary Kay website. So here's information about the makeover contest. So contact your Mary Kay girl. There are 6 different looks. You put it together, take an after picture. You don't even have to take a before. That's so nice, isn't it? It can just be your after picture and you're good to go. So you can get information about entering the makeover contest, or if you just want to go back, like you think, oh, I really liked that champagne shimmer look that you did. All of the colors and the technique and everything is all listed out right there for you. So if you don't have a Mary Kay girl, feel free to visit my website, which is just marykay.com/Michelle Fox. But otherwise, contact your Mary Kay girl. Okay, so let's take that off. So, oh my gosh, it's like my head is going in so many different directions because there's so much that I want to talk about today. Last week I was not live. I faked being live because I was on vacation. I told you though, I was honest. And I forgot to talk about mascara. I said in the beginning that every week we'd chat about mascara. And, but it worked out because last week I used what's called Lash Love Panorama. And then this week we're featuring Lash Intensity. And both of these mascaras deposit fibers. We've talked about waterproof. We've talked about a natural look. We've talked about, ones that lengthen versus thicken. And so this is depositing fibers so that your lashes just have a little more drama. There's a little more to them. And depending on how many layers you put on is going to impact if you can work it to where it actually looks like false lashes. I have customers that love this lash intensity. It's kind of bizarre. The brush is really, really different. It has different length bristles. And so you apply it, using one angle, and then you turn it like a quarter turn and apply it again. And the different length bristles do different things. And so it's a really interesting look. This came out when kind of spidery lashes were really popular. And so the people that I know that love this, love it. Like they order 2 at a time. They're so committed to it. I actually prefer the Lash Love Panorama. I just find it easier to apply, easier to work with. And but both of them, you will notice that it's all about the bristles. When you're thinking about what kind of mascara you want, there's the formula, and then the bristles also impact how it is deposited. So believe it or not, you do need to read the instructions, because whereas back in the day, there was just one kind, you'd put it on a certain way, end of story. Nowadays, there are actual techniques. So like this one, again, has different length bristles, but it also has bristles on the tip. And so there's a way to fan out your lashes with that. So this is my current favorite. It's Mary Kay Lash Love Panorama. All right, we're setting that aside. I mentioned that we're going to talk about this. We're going to approach it as a pink look, no matter what your complexion is. And the reason I thought to approach it that way is because the first time I did this look, it was atrocious. Hi, Tessa. I don't know. I think because of the contrast between my hair and my complexion, I'm used to a little bit bolder colors, but also if I put it on real sheer, it just kind of melted into my skin and you just didn't see it. Like I literally within a couple hours looked like I hadn't done my makeup at all. So I thought, okay, here's the thing. Here's my little tidbit, and I'm gonna pass along. In the same way that when you're doing a really dramatic look, like Champagne Shimmer, how that had like the cat eye and the bright red lips, you have to be very on purpose, when you're doing something like that. To me, in the same way, when you're doing a very light look, a soft look, a barely there look, you have to also be very on purpose. And so that is going to involve things like making sure that you're using primer, that you've got a really great foundation match. If you need concealer, to use concealer. So my face is so prepped. I've got a foundation primer, foundation, concealer, setting powder, bronzing powder, setting spray, eye primer. Because I knew already that when I put these on, it can just kind of fade into nothingness. But this is really crazy. When I did this look and I created a reel to kind of announce it, people were messaging me like crazy saying how much they loved the look because it showed up because I took those extra steps. So that is my little piece of advice to you, is that it's all about the prep. This look just features one eyeshadow shade, like I said, Dusty Rose. And so I told you this week's going to be different than usual. This week I'm talking a lot. I'm doing some Mary Kay talk, okay? Because we just have so much happening in our world. So Dusty Rose is one of my favorites. I did think that it would serve you well if I let you know something that I love, 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 love Mary Kay Chroma Fusion eyeshadow. I really do. And I've tried everything under the sun. Mary Kay has chosen to kind of shift things up where they are eliminating some of the accent colors so that every quarter they can bring out these beautiful compacts that feature different colors, whatever's on trend. So this fall, keep your eyes peeled because it's going to be amazing. But I think it's important to know the colors that are being discontinued. So if you're a Mary Kay girl, customer or consultant, Cashmere Haze, Soft Heather, Mahogany, Onyx, those are the matte shades that are being discontinued. And then for shimmer shades, it's Granite, Frozen Iris, Sweet Plum, Rustic, Burnished Bronze, Moss, Emerald Noir, and Starry Night. It's a lot, I know. First time I heard about it, I was just like, wait, what? Because they're all gorgeous, gorgeous colors. But whenever Mary Kay makes a shift, it really is in everyone's best interest. And we can, chat more about that or ask your Mary Kay girl about it. But in case you were not aware of that, I thought I would bring it up. So we're going to do Dusty Rose on the lid. Like I said, I used eye primer. I cannot stress enough how important eye primer is. I should probably put a link to my eye primer too. I've been using Milani. Super affordable and it works really, really well. So I have my eye primer on. I'm just using a traditional all over eyeshadow brush, and we're going to put the Dusty Rose all over the lid. And right now we're just focusing on the lid only. Okay. So, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'll tell you. Like if I do the close up, then I have to get like this. So I'd like to not do the close up, but then I can't see what I'm doing. So, oh, the trials and tribulations of Michelle Fox. All right, we are going to put Dusty Rose all over the lid and really pack it on. Okay, so you're using your all over eyeshadow brush. You're really getting a nice deposit for so many reasons. Now, if you're light complected, blonde hair, blue eyes, and you just want a light wash of color, this would work for you. You would have no problem. But those of us that have a little more color to our complexion, we need to approach it a little bit differently. So I'm really packing on this Dusty Rose, but just on the lid. And that's another thought I had, is that when you've got perfectly shaped eyes, you can just pick one color and just put it on your lid, the mobile lid, the almond shape, and you're good to go. And that is a really cool look. Most of us do not have like perfectly shaped eyes or eyes that match. And so after we get this on the lid, we're going to do a little maneuver to kind of help us out. All right, let me look up close. Pretty good. So it is a very pretty color. And you can see, because I, on purpose, really put it on nice and heavy, you can see it. A sheer wash of this would be really hard to see on me. I'm going to take a blending brush now, and I'm going to kind of work it up into the crease a bit. And that is just kind of helping it all kind of melt. Well, I guess that's the wrong word because I don't want it to melt away, but I want it to blend. I don't want there to be a real sharp or specific start and stop area, because my eyes are not almond shaped and they're not the same. So I am using this blending brush to sort of ease it up into the crease. And then that is just going to just soften the look and just make it so that it looks a little more symmetrical, whether it actually is or not. Okay. It's sort of like a little magic trick. So there we go. And so, yes, when you blend, it is sort of like buffing some of it off. So you do want to be on purpose with that too. Like if you wanted to really keep that deposit of color, then you're really just on this very edge. If you feel like, whoops, I got too much, then you can kind of go all over. So couple little nuggets for you there. This look features a brown eyeliner on top only. And so this is another Mary Kay specific thing. This is the older version of the deep brown eyeliner, and I've been using the new waterproof versions. And so this is me saying the new version is amazing. It is like head and shoulders better than the previous. And I loved the previous one, but this one is still, I can kind of feel it pull a little bit, when I try to apply it. But the new one, it's like butter. I mean, it just goes on so smoothly, and yet it's waterproof. So once it sets, it's not going anywhere. So that's just a shout out for our new waterproof eye and lip liners. All right, so we're just going to line top only, and we're using brown. For those of you that have only ever used black, try brown. You'll be surprised. It's just that little bit softer, but you still have the definition and everything. So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm literally just lining super close to my lashes. Very, very basic. This whole look, very, very simple. That's why I'm talking so much, because otherwise I'd be done in like 2.5 minutes. I like to keep you for a little while. Okay. And I think the color now is just called brown. It used to be called deep brown. Now we have brown, blue, black, and steely. And they are amazing. I sell a ton of steely. That is a really neat color. Trying to make sure. If you feel like you can't do your top lashes or your line, your top lid because you have gaps, we all do. You just do it and then you come back and you fill in the gaps and you try to get like as close to your lashes as you can. I often tell my customers, try to make your eyelashes tickle. You just want to get like super close in there and just take your time, a little bit at a time and you'll get there. So all right, so we've got Dusty Rose and brown liner. Easy peasy. We are moving on to Rogue Rose Blush. And this does have a little bit of shimmer to it. I think every single blush for these 6 looks has had shimmer, and it hasn't been a problem. I mentioned in one of these videos that I tend to stay away from shimmer blush because my dad used to ask, "Are you sweating?" But that was back, in the 80s when I'm sure blush was not as sophisticated. So this is just a really nice pink blush. Okay, so I put on a significant amount, and I can tell on the monitor that you can barely see it. So again, you have to be really on purpose with this, especially if you're trying to wear like a pink look and you're on a Zoom or something like that. You're going to have to really punch it up because it does kind of fade into oblivion. I'm talking as if everybody's the same complexion as me. Yes, there are people that are very light complected that wouldn't have to do anything extra, nothing extra, nothing special. But I think there are probably more of us, that are darker. I don't know. That's just my thought. Okay. It is a very pretty color. So this is Rogue Rose. Very, very pretty. I used to be very afraid of shimmer blushes, but they're really beautiful. They're very luminous. We are moving on to lips. I can't even believe it. I'm looking at all my stuff to make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, we're done. We're going to line and put on our lipstick. Oh, okay. Before we do that, let me tell you something else. This is from the Supreme Hydrating Lipstick line, which is my favorite. But because it is very, very hydrating, it does not have a lot of staying power. I'm not being negative. I'm stating fact. The more hydrating something is, the less staying power it has. So you can think of the difference between a matte lipstick and a lip gloss. If you don't want to have to reapply, or you're going to an event and you really want to make sure that it stays all, throughout the entire event, a great idea is for sure to line your lips, but then you can also color in your entire lip with a similar lip liner, then go over it with your Supreme Hydrating Lipstick. You're going to have the best of both worlds because you've got that waterproof liner that's going to last and last. You've got that beautiful hydrating lipstick that is very youthful, and it moisturizes. What's the word I'm looking for? It benefits your lips. I mean, it is like a conditioning thing for your lips. Conditioning thing. I told you I'm not really a morning person. My vocabulary doesn't come back till like 2:00 in the afternoon. All right, so I'm just going to line because that's what this look calls for. And this is like the color of my lips. Okay, I got to get in here a little closer. Wow, that's pretty. But yeah, this is like the color of my lips. So there's another point. When it comes to lip liner, if you feel like I've got so many lipsticks, I could not possibly afford to get a lip liner to match all these lipsticks. The other option is to get a lip liner that matches your lips, because then it's going to still keep a nice crisp line, keep the lipstick from bleeding and fading and everything, but you can use that for all of it. So this would be the one for me. This mauve nude is like exactly the color of my lips, a little bit darker. And if you're new to lip liner, you want to do the V in the center of your top lip, then short strokes each way, then a little horizontal line in the lower lip, short strokes each way. I think people think they have to go left to right, but it's easier if you start in the middle. All right, make sure I got it on nice and even. And then we're going to put on this hydrating lipstick. This is Mauve Crush. It looks really dark in the tube, but it goes on pretty light. If you haven't tried the hydrating lipsticks, you absolutely have to. They feel so amazing, but the colors are really beautiful. Oh, yeah. Ugh. I just tried a really expensive lipstick in my Ipsy box. It was like Natasha Denona. It's like $35 or something. And honestly, this feels like that. This is as creamy as that. Beautiful. Okay, so that is the pink look, but don't go anywhere because we got more to talk about. I could not get my hair to behave today, so it's in a ponytail and in a this. But people have asked me to please put my hair down when I'm done, so I want to make everybody happy. So okay, so here is me with the pink look. It's just very soft. You know, it's a barely there look, but it is really pretty. And I think the bronzer helped me too. So like I said, I prepped everything and then I also added a little bronzer just to give me a little more something, something. So, all right, let me get my eyes on because I'm not done talking. The products for this are all linked to the description of the video in Facebook and YouTube, and I've got them in the comments if you're curious about these specific products. I have a written blog that kind of maps out how, this whole process. So make sure that you check that out because there's always like freebies and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, that's not what I want to talk about. So what I want to know from you, it occurs to me that I've got like a few different audiences here, and I'm really distracted by how bald I look. I just got my hair colored too. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I have like a few different audiences, and so I need some feedback from you. So I need you to feel important and stick around for a minute. Lord have mercy. I have other Mary Kay consultants and directors that watch just to kind of learn new tips and tricks and learn more about the products. I love you all. You're probably the biggest percentage of my audience. And then I have Mary Kay lovers, people that have been like me my whole life, just love the product. Your customers, you're just watching to see what's, the latest and greatest. I love you as well. And then I have actually a pretty small section that are here to just learn beauty tips, that it's not Mary Kay specific. As a matter of fact, maybe today's the first day you heard me talk about Mary Kay and you're like, Mary Kay, surprise. But I'm going through a metamorphosis of sorts. I don't know. And I want to hear from you. Let me see. I've got it. I tried to set up all this really cool stuff, but as you can see, I'm not really savvy with it yet. It is a banner, I think. Yeah. What I want to find out from you is, do you come here to hear about a variety of beauty brands? Would you like me to continue focusing on that and just really, when I do a makeover, just to focus on the steps and not necessarily be brand specific or introduce new brands, week in, week out? Or are you here primarily for Mary Kay? I'm very curious to know this because I have a strong suspicion that it is the latter. And so let me know in the comments. You can say either variety or MK. Why do I want to know this? Well, somebody just asked me a question about this makeover series, in regards to how it has helped my Mary Kay business. And I was like, I haven't really been approaching it like that. I've just been approaching it like, here, these are the types of colors and this is the application and isn't this fun? And so I thought, okay, I need to figure this out. Like, do I want to use this platform as a way to reach my Mary Kay peeps and to continue to train and encourage and introduce you to new products? Or do I want to continue as more of a beauty influencer and kind of have a nice mix of different brands and definitely some topics that are not brand specific? I'm just curious how you feel about this because I feel like I need to make a change, and but I don't want to just do that all willy-nilly without consulting with you all. So let me put this down. Nope, it wasn't how I do it. Let's see. There. You too can be a YouTuber. So okay, and I still Mary Kay. Okay, fabulous. All right, first. Woo woo. Yeah, you guys are important to me. And I just want to know, it's so funny. It's like, this should have come to me a long, long time ago, but like, I just kind of had a revelation. Like, I just need to ask the people that are watching, where are you coming from? What do you want me to talk about? So that's very interesting, but please, whenever you're watching, let me know in the comments, send me a private message. It really is important to me that I am meeting you where you're at, where you want me to be. So anyway, this was the end of our series. I can't believe it. It's been really cool. If you're in my private Facebook group, I'm going to post all 6 looks, how I looked at the end of each one. And we're going to vote on our favorites. So be sure that you meet me there. If you're not in my private Facebook group, you can reach out to me and I'll tell you how you can become part of that. So thank you so much. This has been really enlightening for me, really and truly. I mean, I have tried colors that I never, ever thought I would try. I've tried techniques that are so much simpler than the techniques that I typically use, and I've been pleasantly surprised. So I have learned so much, and I hope that you've learned a little something too. So thanks a million. If you have not yet subscribed to Michelle Fox Beauty on YouTube, please take a moment and do that. I am really focused on getting to 10,000 subscribers. And if you're watching me on Facebook, go ahead and follow and like my Facebook page. But be sure that you also check out the blog. There's always more little goodies in the blog. So that is the written blog that coordinates with the videos that I do each week. So next week, we'll get back to our regular program where I'm all recorded. And so I'm not such a flake. So I will see you then. I don't even know what we're going to talk about. It will probably depend on your answers in the comments. So absolutely, let me know what you're thinking. Okay. Your voice matters. You are everything to me, you guys. All right. I will see you next week.